Close your eyes now. Let your breath become slow and easy waves, in and out, in and out. You have been walking for a long while along a quiet country road. The sun is low, a soft peach glow resting forever on the horizon. It will never set here, and it will never rise any higher. This is the hour the world keeps for rest, and it lasts as long as you need. Ahead, through a gentle mist, you see the first lantern, a paper lantern the color of honey, hanging from a crooked wooden post. Then another, and another. They sway, although there is no wind. They are lighting your way into the Village of Perpetual Twilight. The path turns to smooth cobblestones that feel warm beneath your feet, even through your shoes. You pass beneath an arch of wisteria so old its branches have woven themselves into a living roof. Purple blossoms drift down like slow snowflakes and brush your shoulders with the lightest touch. A sign, hand-painted in fading gold letters, reads, "Welcome, weary friend. Here, the clocks have no hands, and the calendars have no numbers. Stay as long as the twilight stays." You smile, because you already feel the day's weight sliding from your shoulders, like an old coat. The first villager you meet is wrapping a scarf of soft gray wool around a lamppost, so the metal will not feel cold tonight. She looks up and nods. Her eyes are the color of dusk itself. "Good evening," she says, and her voice is a lullaby that makes your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy. Or good morning. We're never quite sure. Either way, welcome home. She does not ask your name. Names are kept in pockets here and only taken out when truly needed. You walk on. To your left is the bakery. Its windows glow amber. Inside, the baker is sliding loaves into the oven, loaves shaped like tiny moons and stars. The smell of warm cardamom and vanilla drifts out and wraps around you like a blanket. He waves through the glass and places one star-shaped roll on the sill, for the road, or for the bed, whichever you find first. Across the lane is the lantern maker's workshop. The door stands open. Hundreds of lanterns hang from the ceiling, like luminous fruit. Some are red, some are sea green, some are the pale gold of candlelight seen through honey. The lantern maker is a tall woman with silver hair braided with tiny bells that never quite ring. She is teaching a child how to breathe softness into glass. She sees you watching and smiles. Every lantern remembers the dream of the person who last held it. Choose one for tonight, and it will light the dream you most need. You step inside. Your hand finds a lantern the color of twilight sky just before stars appear. It is warm, as though it has been waiting for you. You hang it on the hook by the door, for later, you whisper, and somehow the lantern understands. The street curves gently like a sleeping cat. You pass the cloud shepherd sitting on a low wall, knitting scarves out of mist. His flock of small white clouds grazes quietly above the rooftops. One drifts down and settles on your shoulder for a moment, cool and weightless, before floating back up. The shepherd tips his hat. Sleep is simply a cloud you haven't lain down on yet. Further along is the little square with its fountain. The water falls upward here in slow silver threads, gathering into a soft sphere that hovers and turns like a liquid moon. Around the fountain are stone benches cushioned with moss older than memory. You sit. The moss sighs beneath you, welcoming. An old woman in a shawl of deep indigo is arranging tiny boats made of walnut shells in the fountain's pool. Each boat carries a single candle. She lights one, sets it sailing upward into the sphere of water. The candle does not go out. It floats inside the water moon and glows like a firefly trapped in a soap bubble. That one is for peaceful thoughts, she says, without looking up. This one is for unhurried dreams. She lights another. And this one is for anything you are ready to let go of tonight. She hands you a walnut shell and a beeswax candle no longer than your thumb. You light it from her lantern. The flame is steady, even in the open air. You place the tiny boat into the upward falling water. You do not need to say what the candle is for. The village already knows. Time has become gentle here. Minutes feel like hours, and hours feel like the space between heartbeats. Someone has left a quilt on the bench beside you, quilted from pieces of sunset, rose, peach, lavender, gold. You pull it over your shoulders. It smells faintly of cedar and warm milk. Across the square, the star weaver is at work. She sits beneath a tree whose leaves are tiny mirrors. From her loom fall threads of starlight that she winds into quiet constellations never seen from the waking world. Tonight, she is weaving a small one shaped like a sleeping cat. She hums, and the hum is the sound of galaxies turning very, very slowly. You find yourself yawning, a long, sweet, helpless yawn that starts in your toes and rises like warm tide. The twilight deepens, not into darkness, but into a richer, softer version of itself. The lantern you chose earlier has somehow followed you. It hovers at your side, glowing gently. A small card is tied to its handle with ribbon. On it, written in ink that shimmers like moon blue, are the words, "Second star to the right, then straight on till morning, or longer if you like. You know the way now." Up a little lane of crushed seashells that glow faintly underfoot, you come to a small house with a round door the color of storm clouds just before rain. A brass knocker shaped like a crescent moon invites you to knock once. The open does itself. Inside is a single room, low-ceilinged and perfect. A fireplace burns with logs that give off no heat, only the gentlest crackle and a scent of pine after rain. A kettle hums on the hearth, though no one tends it. In the center of the room is a bed wide enough for all the dreams you have ever postponed. The sheets are woven from cloud, the pillows filled with swan down and lullabies. A mobile of tiny lanterns turns slowly above, casting drifting shapes of moons and moths across the walls. On the bedside table sits a glass of milk still warm, and beside it one of the star-shaped rolls from the bakery, still steaming, though hours have passed, or perhaps none at all. You set the twilight-colored lantern on the table. Its light dims to the softest ember, just enough to keep the dark friendly. You slip off your shoes. The floorboards stroke the soles of your feet like kind hands. You lie back. The quilt from the square has followed you too. It settles over you with a sigh. Outside the round window, the village lanterns bob and sway like fireflies that have forgotten how to blink. The fountain still falls upward. The cloud shepherd's flock grazes quietly across a sky that is forever almost night. Your breathing slows, slower, slower. The last thing you hear is the star weaver's gentle humming carried on the air like dandelion seeds. The last thing you feel is the quilt tucking itself beneath your chin as though the village itself is whispering, "Stay, stay as long as the twilight stays." And you do. The lantern by your bed glows once, softly, like a heartbeat. Then it rests. Good night, dear traveler. The Village of Perpetual Twilight will still be here when you wake, whenever that may be. Sleep now. Sleep deeply, sleep sweetly. The lanterns will keep watch, the clouds will graze quietly overhead, and the sun will stay exactly where it is, low and golden on the horizon forever. Good night.